The compact's transit exit signature lit the board at 0312 station time. 17 vessels, heavy tonnage, dropping out of faster-than-light transit in a cluster formation above the ecliptic. I was already in the chair. We had been tracking the approach corridor for 6 weeks, running the transit math against the compact's known route schedules, and the numbers had been closing cleanly since the first of the month. I called General Quarters at 0314 and poured myself a second coffee. Fleet was exactly where we expected it. Fleet Registrar Sorath Vell's automated claim broadcast reached Station Ardent 11 seconds after. Transit exit. The compact never wasted time with pleasantries. The broadcast was a legal instrument, formatted to Compact Standard Charter, and it announced in 11 languages that the biological extraction world, designated Survey Mark 7 and 14 Omicron, will hereby subject to active harvest, collection under original filing rights, established 50,000 years prior. It named the claimant. It cited the survey date. It declared the world pre-sapient, ecocete act, collection to commence within 72 hours. I let the broadcast finish. Then I opened the channel. Fleet Registrar Sorath Vell, I said. This is Senior Liaison Officer Marin Solis, Orbital Receiving Station Ardent, operating under authority of the Terran Sovereign Assembly. We have received your claim broadcast. We have a counterfiling. Please stand by to receive. There was a pause. It lasted longer than signal delay could account for. Receiving station, Sorath Vell said finally. Clipped compact standard. Survey Marks 7714 Omicron is logged as pre-sapient. Your transmission is being evaluated for source. The source, I said, is the planet. I transmitted the counterfiling at 0321. It was 3.4 terabytes compressed, 10,000 years of legal record, biological census data, sovereign heraldic declarations filed with every interstellar body we had encountered, copies of the original compact survey markers recovered from the Carith Basin in what is now northern Canada, proof of sapient habitation, continuous from before the original survey date, Terran's formal dispute of claim under 17 separate provisions of the compact's own charter. Our legal team had been building it since the markers were decoded. We had not been idle. The channel went quiet. I watched the compact fleet on the board. 17 vessels, the largest running 4 kilometers stem to stern, big ships, old design, built extraction work, not for combat. They were holding position at 240,000 kilometers, well outside our primary defense grid's effective engagement envelope, or what they could resolve of it. Our active installations ran deeper than their instruments could read. The Ardent itself was showing them a clean sensor return, as designed, and the platforms behind us were showing them nothing at all. At 347, Sorath Vell came back on the channel. Liaison Officer Solis. Compact standard was slower now, each word placed with care. Your filing references Survey Mark 174 Porn Omicron's original placement date. You have possession of the physical markers. Recovered from a depth of 300 meters, in a geological stratum we date to approximately 49,800 years before present, I said. We've had them for roughly 10,000 years. The decoding took 4 centuries. The legal preparation took the rest of the time. Another pause. The Sapience Index recorded at original survey, Sorath Vell said, was 0.003, threshold. We're aware of what you recorded, I said. We're aware of what the index was. We are less interested in what we were 50,000 years ago than in what we are now. Pulled up the data package my team had prepared and transmitted it across. This is a current biological, technological, and territorial census of the world you've designated 774 Omicron. We call it Earth. I've included a population figure, a summary of our sovereign territory, which extends to the heliopause under our own filing, and an inventory of the installations currently operating in this orbital zone. The inventory is partial. I've included what we're comfortable disclosing. The pause this time was very long. I drank my coffee and watched the board. The compact fleet had not moved. Their scan emissions had increased significantly. They were reading everything they could reach, which I knew was not very much. The defense grid's outer shell was designed to be visible, a clear statement of presence, a hard edge where our territory began. What sat behind it was not designed to be visible at all. That was the point. You don't show your whole hand to a creditor you've never met. You show them enough to make the conversation serious. What they could see was sufficient. The platform ring at geosynchronous was sufficient. 2 warships I had authorized to move into visible sensor range. Ardent's escort, the Vethera and the Solstice, each running 1-2 kilometers, were sufficient. The Compact's extraction vessels were large. They were not large in the way the Vethara was large. The Vethara had been built for a different purpose than moving biological material across deep space. The difference was apparent at any resolution. Soreth Vel's voice, when it came back, had a quality I had not heard in the recordings our xenolinguistics team had prepared me with. It was careful in a way that went beyond professional formality. Liaison Officer Solace, your counter-filing references Compact Charter Provision 7, Subsection 14, Pre-existing sapient claim superseding extraction rights. The provision requires demonstration of continuous habitation. We have it, I said. The filing contains an unbroken biological record. Homo sapiens continuous on this planet from before your survey date to the present moment. We never left. We were here when your team planted the markers. We were here when they departed. We have been here every day in the interval. The index was wrong, I said. Your survey instrument had a threshold your species defined, and we were below it on the day your team visited. That's accurate. What is also accurate is that we were present, we were sapient, and we have had 50,000 years to prepare a legal response to exactly this conversation. I set the coffee down. The Compact's own charter, Fleet Register, Provision 7. You wrote it, we read it. We have met every standard it requires. The channel held open. I could hear background sound from the Compact flagship, the soft machinery of a very old ship, the murmur of a crew that was doing a great deal of talking at low volume. You anticipated this return, Soreth Vel said. It was not quite a question. We found your markers, I said. We decoded your route schedules. The math on a return window was not complicated once we understood your transit corridors. We have been preparing this filing, and this station, and a number of other things for a long time. Another silence. Then you are requesting that we withdraw the claim. I'm informing you that the claim is disputed under your own legal framework, that the dispute is documented, that we have standing, and that the Terran Assembly is prepared to pursue the matter through every body the Compact recognizes. I kept my voice level. I'm also informing you, as a professional courtesy, that this orbital zone is sovereign Terran territory, that the installations operating here are defensive in nature, and that we have no interest in an escalation. We'd like this resolved through the charter process. Soreth Vel was quiet for a moment. You said the inventory you transmitted was partial.
Was.
The channel stayed open for 11 more seconds. Then Soreth Vel said, we will require time to consult with the Compact's legal authority. Of course, I said. We'll grant a 48-hour consultation window. Station Ardent will remain on channel. If you need anything during that period, please transmit. The Compact fleet began moving at 0541. A slow, deliberate withdrawal to 800,000 kilometers well outside the platform ring, well outside anything they could read clearly on their instruments. They held there through the consultation window. At hour 41, Soreth Vel transmitted a formal acknowledgement of the counterfiling and a notice that the Compact's legal division would require additional time to review Provision 7 in light of the submitted evidence. They did not return to the planet. They did not attempt to collect. At hour 48, I closed the consultation window and logged the contact in the Assembly's record. Claim received, counterfiling transmitted. Claimant withdrew for legal review. Status, disputed pending charter process. My supervisor asked me, afterward, if I had been nervous. I told her the truth. I had not been. We had done the work. We had read their law and met every standard in it. We had built the case across 10,000 years and the station across 400, and we had put the right ships in the right places at the right time. When Soreth Vel's broadcast arrived at 0311, there was nothing left to be nervous about. The preparation was finished. All that remained was the conversation. Some debts are collected. Some, when the collector arrives and reads the full account, are found to have already been answered. Quietly, thoroughly, across a span of time the collector did not think to measure. We had answered this one. long before the compact's fleet crossed the ecliptic. We simply waited for them to come close enough to hear it.